Alchemy of Souls began with a scene that was not very well understood, and since then we have wondered how it happened. At the moment that Naksu wanted to exchange her soul, she realized that instead of being in the body of the woman she chose, she was in the body of a young blind woman. After that, she herself wondered why that happened if she knew that the woman was blind. This scene has been one of the most confusing because it is something that does not regularly occur in soul alchemy. Usually, when the person chooses the body, the person changes his soul to the body he chose. Now, why did Naksu change his soul to a body he did not want? Why does Naksu sometimes do things that she herself does not realize? Well, these questions will be answered in this video. That's why today I'm going to talk about theory that talks about the real reason why Buyeon chose Naksu's body. But first, remember to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to be among the first to see our content. First of all, we must understand that although the series has been running for 18 episodes, Buyeon's story has not been explained well yet, and we know very little about her. However, with the little we know, we could assume some things. Let's start by understanding that Jin Ho-Gyeong went to Jangan to use the ice stone because her daughter Buyeon was dead in her womb. With this simple fact, we know that Buyeon is not just anyone, since we have not met a person so far who has been resurrected in her mother's womb by the ice stone. Now, they have not yet presented the scene where Jangan used the ice stone to resurrect Buyeon. However, there are some characteristics of Buyeon that make us think that it might have happened that day. According to what Jin Ho-Gyeong said, Buyeon was born at 13 months because Jangan chose a special and specific day for her to be born. It is believed that that day might have been the day where the energy of the King's Star was presented, or maybe another special day related to the stars, but the most important thing is that that day was one with some specific purpose that we still don't know. We also have to remember what happened 200 years ago. A priestess together with other people started to make a ritual to make it rain because there was a drought. After that, it started to fall like a kind of hail, and Sojong saw that an ice did not melt, but it changed its shape. Sometimes it was water, sometimes it was fire, and at the end it threw like a black powder. That was what they used to make the change of souls. But something very bad happened. When people started to change their souls, a war broke out and everything was a disaster. When Sojong saw this, he wanted to make the ice stone disappear, and apparently he succeeded in doing so together with Solran. But with the information we know, according to chapter 18, the ice stone is not subject to shape, size, or place. So from this information, even though they sealed the ice stone at that time, someone could recover it again. Also, according to the poem Words of the Heart, Master Sojong destroyed the other ice stones except one, and that was the one he used to save his love. So it was very likely that someone could find it again. Time passed and we can see that the ice stone is in Janggang's hands, and apparently he made many mistakes using the stone. Going back to Buyeon's birth, there is a theory that it may be that when they resurrected Buyeon, they used Solran's soul to be able to revive her, and for that reason we see that Buyeon has incredible powers, and that this may be a kind of reincarnation. However, there are also others who think that perhaps there was no reincarnation, but there is a kind of spiritual connection in which Solran can communicate with Buyeon and show them things from the past and the future. Others think that Buyeon is a descendant of Solran, and for that reason is very powerful. The point is that although Buyeon comes from the Jin family, and we think that her father is also very powerful, it is believed that the power she has is greater than just an inherited power. Now, it is believed that Buyeon's life changed drastically when she was pushed into the water by Jin Mu. It is believed that after that event Buyeon received a kind of message from Solran to do her best to find the ice stone again, because she knew it was in the hands of someone evil and she didn't want what happened 200 years ago to happen. As we know that Buyeon is blind, It was going to be very difficult for her to accomplish that goal, and she decided to have Naksu's soul enter her body so that she could regain her sight and have other skills that Naksu has. Or he simply chose her because she knew she was the right one to fulfill her goal, because of course we know that Naksu has a great story. If we wonder how Naksu ended up in Buyeon's body, we can assume that Buyeon does know Naksu, but maybe Naksu did not know Buyeon. Let's remember that Buyeon has many powers, among them she recognizes energy and knows how to search for places. So most likely, the day Naksu was going to change her soul, she didn't meet Mudeok by chance. Maybe Mudeok knew what was going on, or what was going to happen, and that's why she lured Naksu to touch her. Because it doesn't make sense that Naksu would touch Mudeok knowing that when she saw her back she was wearing a ribbon. That was understood to be blind, yet she touched her and pushed her. This could have been so that the energy that Mudeok has could be released through Naksu's contact with her. If we think well, Buyeon was the one who provoked and allowed Naksu to enter her body. But why did she do it? I don't think it was for simply taking revenge on Jin-Mu, because if it was for revenge she wouldn't have chosen Naksu's body, but any other body. So there has to be a good reason that has a lot of weight and goes according to the history of the series, so that maybe in the end it all makes sense. Now we get to thinking, what thing according to the series is so great for a person like Buyeon to do something like that? Going back to what was explained about Solran, since Buyeon is believed to have some divine connection with her, she let her know what happened 200 years ago, and the purpose of all this is that Buyeon is tasked to prevent chaos. But Buyeon knows that she couldn't do it alone, she needed someone special for that task. So here is where we can see the philosophy that they have constantly presented of yin and yang. I think this philosophy is not just about a loving concept. If we notice, the color of Naksu's clothes is blue and red, the same colors of the jade that Jang-wook had. When we see Mudeok we sometimes see her with blue clothes and a red ribbon. In a way it's like an explanation that Buyeon was looking for another soul who could connect with her, so that together they would become stronger and could fulfill Solran's command, which is to prevent another chaos from happening. But how was she able to do that? Recall that Choyeon, when talking about her sister Buyeon, said that priestesses have the power to control people's souls and trap them so that they are helpless. If the priestess traps her powers, even the most powerful magician is helpless. So this was the way Buyeon used her powers to make Naksu in her body, and that's why she trapped her. This also explains that it is as if Naksu is helpless inside Buyeon's body, and if Naksu currently does something in the body, it is because Buyeon allows her to, and it is for a purpose. Clearly this is something that only a priestess of that level can do, and we understand that she did it in order to save the people again from the ice stone like Solran once did. That's why perhaps Jang-wook said that he would do what So-jam did, use the ice stone to save his love. Maybe in the later chapters Jang-wook has to sacrifice himself for Mudeok, and all this is like repeating what happened 200 years ago. So the only good reason for Buyeon to cause Naksu to enter her body would be to avoid chaos. It's the only thing that makes sense so far with the story. What do you think of this theory? Leave your comment here. If you like this video, like and share it with your friends.